back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert, here with my friendly friend who's fallowed,
I mean,
fat, not really. I don't know. He's full of F words, as we just heard. It's Matthew. Um, and it's a great gift that you give in terms of perspective by doing stand up, which I think is awesome. Any type of artistic presentation that lets people look at Parkinson's differently is a very good thing. It is part of this larger theme that I think you heard me talk about and really came out of the All In called Rebranding Parkinson's, which is incredible. 200 years into this. Oh, maybe there's more. And that's where aesthetic distance plays a little bit, because you mentioned and broke it down last time about seeing things differently. Science has a problem sometimes of seeing things differently because they're so institutionally bound by rules and formulas. And, in this case, a paper written by James Parkinson in 1817. That's the truth. Let's not look at that differently. No, let's just keep saying what he said. So, aesthetic distance, define it generally, and then let's talk about how we've applied it to the Shawshank Hero's journey, what you've seen, noticed, and felt in that application.
well, the best way I think I can explain it is feeling distinctly apart from what I'm viewing that's artistic, right? That I have the capacity to pull back from it, not fully engage with it if I don't want to, right? And I recognize that, if I'm creating art that's if I'm creating art that's making people hysterical or crying like a baby, or that I might need to include something where people feel safe, where people feel like I can engage with this art in a way that's healthy and beneficial to me. And so this idea of aesthetic distance, that we can pull back and look at something from a distance, I think becomes important. I tell you, artificial intelligence doesn't agree that there's any capacity for us to laugh at Parkinson's. You've heard me say before, I asked ChatGPT to write me 20 jokes about Parkinson's, and it replied that I was a monster, that I was hurtful and insensitive, and
Isn't that funny to have AI have feelings, as it were? Because it really it took umbrage. It clutched its pearls, as it were, at you offering that rather than, and so that's a very different lens. You're right. And we've used ChatGPT a lot, more than I have in any other class in this term. So what have you seen from your fellow students in terms of, because I know for me, seeing them separate from their stories, especially at this stage, we're now at the 11th, they have found more in their stories by giving their characters realities, again, apart from their own. Have you seen that in fellow students as well?
oh yeah, I experienced it myself as I'm
Yeah.
writing and creating. I'm like, I would never do this, but Paul would, right? I have to step
Paul.
back and say the story's about Paul, and so what is he doing? Where is he going? What are the stakes for him at every point? And so
So
it,
you can still relate, but you don't have to be him. It's a non-binary way of creating, right?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
people look at
I'm
creativity
not
as
so
a linear
entangled.
process. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not so entangled with the material that I can't pull back and look at it and say that was smart. This was, I think that's what meditation does for us on some level, Robert.
Mhm.
That we would sit and take time for us to think meta-ly about our day and who we are and our current circumstance and all that.
It's the importance too of having a safe, brave space to give aesthetic distance, to become something or someone else, to say there's more to this life than the version I put in front of everybody that is acceptable, right? Is life always acceptable? Shit, no. I've written this book about the difficulty of acceptance, man. Parkinson's is not acceptable. It's just not.
No.
And yet somehow we're managing. And what I guess my call anyway is, let's make it less acceptable so that people do more to help end it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to feel good about where we are. We
No.
want to pull back and say, let's look at a different line in the sand as to where
Yeah.
we're headed. We need more research. We need more funding. We need more.
Yeah. And I think that that fundamentally means more truth telling. And The path to the truth through art is an interesting one. Let's kick that into the next episode because truth is a powerful word. And I think truth in Parkinson's is part of the rebranding too, we need to get to.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's get to the next episode. See you in a minute.